back. My fucking these reels got me caught up. These art reels be going crazy. Alright, let me turn this damn music off. Need to grab water too. Yeah, that's so crazy. Oh well, to each their own. I just seen some crazy shit that I never thought would happen, but to each their own.
It's nice to unwind after a long week of telling people how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you can pay for what you need. It's a natural. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 Liberty. A Cadillac is a celebration of self-expression. So be bold and be yourself. Get 2.99% APR for 60 months on most 2023 Cadillac models.
OCO, free thinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet. The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes. It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
Dane Calloway.
Alright, so the next thing that we're going to get into, a lot of people were asking me to get my take on this situation. And I let some time roll by, in order for me to do Farrakhan calling out RZA was about an accusation that his fiance gave. And at that time, when I was, when people were telling me about this situation, they were saying a girl, they weren't telling me that it was his fiance and nothing like that. And so just recently here, more people were sending me that stuff, asking me to talk about it. And I was like, look, what is going on? And then what really caught my eye is when I saw that they were saying it was his fiance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, his fiance, huh? No, that don't sound right. That sound way left. And I said, okay, because I'm guilty of, calling him out my damn self, because the first thing I heard was, what the rumor was, and I was like, huh?
What's the rumor, baby?
You out of pocket. And so now, I go back and I look at this stuff and I'm like, wait a minute, man, they talking about his fiance? Huh? That don't sound right. Like, he getting ready to be married to her and she yelling, I'm like, huh, nah, let me look into this. So, come to find out, had to go through loops and bounds just to get this real audio to make sure everything was legit because the first go around, the audio seemed off to me. It seemed a bit altered. It didn't sound like Farrakhan. And I was like questioning it, like, huh? Are they trying to throw a campaign against them? You know, I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time,
What's the allegations?
Known for doing eternal things where they, you know, call a person out on their wrongdoings or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that wasn't a shock.
I'm good, bro. And you can give me your honest opinion. I really wouldn't mind your honest opinion on the imagery. What do you think about it? It's not deep. It's not like some physiological, introspective, goddamn analogies or no shit like that. You know, so this isn't dealing with existential crises or anything. It's very straightforward, and this is ain't no hidden messages or nothing in it. This is just for aesthetics. I think it looks nice. What's your honest opinion? So this is my reference. I'm gonna be adding some more to my foot or feet series, if you want to say foot or feet, however you want to do it. But definitely want to add some more to this series. And so I'm trying to get the underpainting done. I just got, oh shit, I really touched that. I just got the one big toe right here to do, and then after I do the big toe, I'll start doing the strawberries. And once I get the strawberries filled in, I'll set this to the side, let it dry. I have this canvas right here that I want to start on. And then after I work on that a little while, I'll come back and start adding some more layers and trying to finish this piece up. I had like put these rhinestones on their toes. I don't know if you can see it, but like these little gems right here. And in my mind, I thought it would look good, and actually in person, it did look pretty good. But for the painting, I might not keep those rhinestones on her toes. I think it'd throw people off, and it for the painting, I don't think it'll add that much to it. I'm still contemplating it. Not saying that it's not going in, but for right now, I don't feel like it's absolutely necessary. But I might not. I might not. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so you got the little honey drips. I think that's going to be my favorite part to do, is try to get that honey to look right and make it look like that amber wetness. There's no other word I can use, man. A lot of people think I'm weird for my foot fetish, but I don't care. Yo, everybody has their different things. So, you know, some dudes are ass man, some dudes are breast man, you know. Some dudes are all about the body. Some guys are all about the face. We find different parts of the human body pleasing to look at. I definitely like women with like nice bodies, but honestly, I'll take any. I'm not very picky when it comes to body shape. You can be like tall, short, thick, slim, not too slim. I don't like skinny bitches. That is one thing. I don't mind like voluptuous women, like plump women. Goddamn, as long as you got a pretty face and some pretty feet, I can work with you. Not gonna lie, your feet is very high up on my list. I'll say this: I have never dated a woman with ugly feet. I don't know if that's if I'm just lucky. You like the feet. I don't know if I'm just lucky and all the women I really get involved with just happen to have pretty feet, but that's definitely a determining factor. Like if your toes are all crusty and you got like gnarly ass toenails and like motherfucking corns and bunions, I can't do it. I'm just being honest. I can't do that. You remember the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy? Motherfucker, the girl been fine. Damn, that bitch been fine as shit. Well, he took the girl home and slept with her. Old fine ass thing. And while they was asleep in the bed, the motherfucker woke up, make sure she still asleep, and pulled the covers up something to see her feet. And that bitch had ugly feet. He was like, no, I'm out. He was like, I'm good, bitch. Your feet. Mm-mm. And then there was this one episode of I can't think of the name of the TV show. It was all like mostly a female TV show, kind of like Living Single. It was something like that where just like a bunch of girlfriends go through their problems and shit. But the one girl, she started dating this new guy, and this motherfucker was obsessed with her feet. He had a major foot fetish. And it was like he ain't even want to fuck her or nothing, or touch her or kiss her or nothing. He just wanted to rub her feet all the time, like kiss her feet. And she was like, yo, that shit is weird. And she did not like that shit. And this motherfucker was like obsessed with how pretty her feet were. Damn, I can't think of Girlfriends. I think that was the name of the show. Girlfriends? Oh, the smoke. Now I gotta look that shit up real quick. Girlfriends foot fetish episode. Damn, we got no clips from that shit, yo. Can't you can't find no clips from that shit. I remember that shit good as fuck though.
Not interested in you.
I'm sorry. And what's wrong?
I don't know.
Joan!
Oh well. I can't find it. It is what it is.
No matter who you are, being yourself can be tough when you have severe asthma. Triggers can pop up.
An investigation to find out what the hell was going on, but I did mention it during the live stream. It was like Farrakhan called this person out, but you know, Farrakhan calling out RZA was about an accusation that his fiance gave. And at that time, when I was, when people were telling me about this situation, they were saying a girl, they weren't telling me that it was his fiance or nothing like that. And so just recently here, more people were sending me that stuff, asking me to talk about it. And I was like, look, what is going on? And then what really caught my eye is when I saw that they were saying it was his fiance.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, his fiance, huh? No,
what the fuck is the accusation?
We left, and I said, okay, because I'm guilty of, calling him out my damn self, because
I never heard that.
Was,
All right, so RZA Islam, he just like this fucking black Muslim dude, and he just trying to post like black power shit. He been on a lot of talk shows and stuff, and he's done a lot of interviews, and I don't follow him on anything, like nothing. None of his social media. I don't follow like his YouTube channel or nothing. But I follow people who have been in conversation with him. And like I've watched some of his stuff, and he just seems like a pro-black Muslim. But now what are the accusations is the damn question, because this motherfucker just being aloof as hell, saying, oh, I called him out, and Farrakhan called him out, and it was about something that his fiance said. Well, we'll just say what is what is it? But this nigga a woman beater, he fucking do coke, what is it?
Rumor was, and I was like, huh? Nah, you out of pocket. And so now, I go back and I look at this stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, man, they talking about his fiance? Huh? That don't sound right. Like, he getting ready to be married to her, and she yelling, I'm like, huh? Nah, let me look into this. So,
wait, he gay or some shit? This nigga must be
I had to go through loops and bounds just to get this real audio to make sure everything was legit, because questioning it, like, things where they, call a person out on their wrongdoings or something like that.
That's crazy.
So that wasn't a shock to me, but at the same, yes, this is legit. This was about a month ago,
That's crazy.
right before he asked her to marry him, but I guess that's the reason why he had to do it publicly, because this did come out, and I think he got it on the internet somewhere. But yeah, so he basically listened to what Louis Farrakhan was telling him to do, and I'm gonna play the audio so you guys can RZA. So you could tell there was like something must have happened to where what they did with them not being married. That's sent that to Farrakhan so she could cover her butt. I'll tell you that right now. That right there, you don't do nothing like that trying to try to ruin his reputation. Maybe you did that inadvertently, but you definitely did that out of guilt, knowing the fact that you led him on to, and you are not married yet, and, come on, man. Explain that before I play the audio. I found out that this was a legit recorded this joint. And the reason why I know it was a phone is because there's a certain high phone in their pocket. Like, for example, if I quit to give off that type of high frequency recording, I heard all of it anyway. When I heard this situation, comparative, but at the same time, I was just recently looking into it. Even going to be able to video, I thought it was a goddamn car turning on and turning. You hear the ambience of the somebody real close. He did. Because when he said the charges, but he's referring to something that they do internally in there. You know, I don't know I know right.
Brother Rizza, if you're listening, I wish you very well. A very handsome brother, too. Highly intelligent. But you've got to bring your moral standard up. Because the women are going to fall in love with you. But you can't have them all now.
He done fucked around on this
I don't know
fiance.
how Solomon made out. I don't know how long he lived either. And she'll kill himself with the 1,000 concubines. But I'm not envious of Solomon.
This motherfucker committed infidelity. He done fucked around on this girl. But that's what happened, yo. Like, nigga, he popular. Like I say, motherfuckers know who he is, and motherfuckers start getting that fame and getting in that limelight. And all the women start coming at you. Bruh. That's how they got my man Umar Johnson. With the strippers. You can't say one thing, like, especially if you trying to be like a leader of the community, man, you can't say one thing and do another thing. Because Dr. Umar said he was celibate. You know, I don't fuck around with no women. I'm waiting until I find my queen and all this shit. And this nigga sleeping around with all kind of strippers. And the strippers telling on his ass and shit. And now, I guess, RZA, he done fuck around on this girl, and then now he asks her to marry him. Just marry me, it'll never happen again. But that's the one time you done got caught. Like, how many other times you been fucking around? A couple years ago, Kevin Hart got caught up in that shit. Like, motherfuckers get that fame and shit. But damn. Like I said, he supposed to be one of these super stand-up guys. Like I say, all Muslim and pro-black power and all that shit. Like you say, you gotta bring your moral standards up. Now you just like everybody else. Not Gotham Knights walkthrough. I might have to watch that. Alright. So I know what I gotta do. I'm really unsure about this next canvas though. I might have to do like some extra shit to that shit. Pull out some tape. Have to tape some shit up because I might actually use spray paint on the next one.
World can always use more heroes. Coming through.
What it be, it's your boy Dre OG. Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're rocking with the vibes and the content. Look, man, we're on our way to 1 million subscribers, man. Y'all go ahead and goddamn run that thing up, man. Share these videos to your friends and family. Look, man, we have a good time on this channel, man. But look, let's get into this video.
That's what's up.
We got these dirty facts about history that probably didn't teach us in school, but we're gonna get into it, you know?
Let's take a look at 3 of the most horrific torture methods in human history. Up first, we have the heretic's fork. This device was used mainly during the Spanish Inquisition. It had 2 sharp ends which were positioned pointing at the victim's chin and neck. meaning that they couldn't nod their head or fall asleep without risking wounding themselves. The victims were forced to wear the heretic's fork until they confessed to crimes that they may or may not have committed. Next up, we have the brazen bowl. This torture device was a hollowed-out bronze statue shaped like a bowl with enough space for a human being to fit inside. Once the victim had been locked within the statue, a fire would be built underneath, essentially baking them alive. In an ironic twist of fate, the person that invented this device would also become its first victim. Finally, we have Judas's cradle. This gruesome device was used during the 16th century. It was essentially a three-legged stool, but instead of a seat, it had a massive wooden or metal spike. Its victims were slowly lowered down onto it until eventually it pierced their most sensitive parts. Comment which of these devices sounds the most painful to you and follow for more.
Did you know ketchup has the most disgusting history ever? The British advertised ketchup as diarrhea medication in the 1830s, but it was actually so toxic that if you opened up a bottle of it, it could kill you. Ketchup wasn't even made out of tomatoes for the longest time. It came from China and it looked like this. It was made out of fish guts and salt, and then it was put out into the sun for 20 to 50 days until it fermented. So it made it to Britain in the 1830s, and people were like, holy crap, this is so good, it must be diarrhea medication. But because preservatives weren't really a thing back then, the ketchup would go bad really quickly. And within a few days, it would look like this. And sometimes it was so bad that people would just open up the bottle and sniff it, and because of all the deadly bacteria in it, they would just drop dead. But people just kept eating it. So anyway, this is why ketchup comes in clear bottles, because back then, people needed to see if they were gonna die or not.
Disturbing facts.
Ketchup?
This makes you think about ketchup completely different. Like, I mean, I've been looking at products on the market, like, you know, with the, you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure you know what the hell you eating, man. Like, this is wild out here.
Ruin your debt. In 1906, a man in Morocco was sentenced to be walled alive after he was found guilty of unaliving 36 people. For 2 full days, people just heard crying from inside the wall. There have been reports of these vacuum cleaners and airplanes sucking out people's insides. When 14-year-old George Stinney was executed by electric chair, he was too short to fit into the chair, so he had to sit on a copy of the Bible. Later, he was found innocent. The average person spends 5 months of their lives waiting for red lights to turn green. If you have red eyes after swimming, it's not from chlorine. It's from the chlorine mixing with other people's urine. And be careful the next time you're on an escalator, because there's been many cases of escalators eating people alive. Follow for more.
Disturbing historical.
Hold on, man. I knew about the case with the little dude, but see, that's why I don't like, bro. Look, that's why I don't fuck with people like that on a massive scale, bro. Like, just like that, because people nasty, bro. Like, getting into the pool and they're urinating in the pool and that shit getting in your eyeballs. I gotta look that one up though, for real, 'cause that shit sound weird. But I just, you know how you hope that that's not true.
Historical facts that you wish you never knew. In the 18th century.
You know, my girlfriend be like, swimming and going swimming. I'm like, man, look, if it ain't like your own home pool, like, you just always risk that shit. I'm not a really good swimmer. I can barely swim. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like, I never just learned that shit. And I know everybody say, oh, swimming is easy, this and that. But like, after not learning for so long, like, I really do have like a slight phobia of water. And I'll fuck around in a pool every once in a while. Like, the last time me and my girl took a trip, we got in the pool at the hotel. And I was in that shit longer than she was, yo. And I'll try to swim like on top of the water a little bit. Swim under the water. I look goofy as fuck doing that shit. But I know, like, in a true life of or death situation, if I had to swim too far, bro, I wouldn't make it, man. If I had to swim across a pool, even across like a deep end, just like a little regular hotel pool, just like a couple meters, I could probably doggy paddle that shit across. I'm not gonna drown in a swimming pool. But if a fucking you out in the ocean or some shit, they got anything like that, get caught in the fucking raging river, like you got to really swim for your life. Ah, bruh, I ain't gonna make that shit. I ain't gonna make it. But okay, so that's the main reason I don't like getting in pools and shit. But all the secondary reasons is just like that what he said, man. Motherfuckers be goddamn pissing in this shit, man. Even in like nice ass hotels, you don't know if motherfuckers be pissing in the goddamn water and all that shit. And then it is like the chlorine and that shit be drying your fucking skin out. And then especially in the ocean is the bathroom for all the motherfucking animals that live in that shit. Like what don't y'all understand? You get a little bit of fucking ocean or sea salt in that water in your mouth, man. You just eating octopus and shark shit. Man, I'm good. I don't want to get in no water that bad. I say every once in a while, and I ain't gonna lie, like, only couple times I do that shit is like when I've been with my girl, just like, nah. My paints are starting to dry. I gotta scrape some of this down. Like the skin off the top of the paint. Some of these paints dry pretty damn quick, even though they're oil paints.
A woman convinced doctors that she was giving birth to rabbits. The doctors actually believed it for a little while until they found corn in one of the rabbits' stomach. And knowing this, it wasn't possible to have come from her womb. She was manually inserting the rabbits into herself to make it more like a natural birth. Genghis Khan was one of the worst people to
Hey,
ever...
look, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, maybe that vagina was bumping. It was jumping, I mean. That shit was jumping, wasn't it? Yeah.
have walked the earth. He killed over 40 million people. He was responsible for actually changing the carbon dioxide levels on Earth during his 21-year reign. In 1930s, the apartments there were so cramped together and there was no outside places to play that people would actually make cages outside of their windows in the apartments that held their baby so the baby could get fresh air. That was great. As usual, there are no part twos, so throw me a follow, like, and comment, and thank you for watching.
Disturbing history for...
Have you ever heard something like this before? Who wants to make $1 zillion online without having to do a single thing? Just send me the money and I'll make all...
Facts that they don't teach in school. Human zoos were active until 1958. They had people from various regions in cages. The My Lai massacre in Vietnam. The US Marines marched into a village and killed over 600 people when the babies were shot. The pirates were the terrorists of their time. Killing, burning, execution games, slavery, and even cannibalism. So they had nothing to do with the pirates in the movies.
If you know anything about ancient Rome...
After they got tired of eating that white meat, they came looking for some black people. They were like, yeah, they look like chocolate. Let's go fucking take a bite.
So they had nothing to killed over 600 people when the babies were shot. The pirates were the terrorists of their time. Killing, burning, execution games, slavery, and even cannibalism. So they had nothing to do with the pirates in the movies.
If you know anything about ancient Rome...
After they got tired of eating that white meat, they came looking for some black people. They were like, yeah, they look like chocolate. Let's go fucking take a bite out of these niggas. Like, that's what happened next, yo.
A lot of their emperors were absolutely disgusting. This piece of shit probably takes the cake. This is Emperor Tiberius. This involves children, so viewer discretion is advised. The pedo used the whole island of Capri to do disgusting things. Here's your last chance to scroll away before I say what I'm about to say. He liked to sit in the water fountains that were built on the island, and he would train toddlers to nibble at him and called them his little fishes. Do we really need a statue of this dude? Do we really?
Hey,
I mean,
man,
I know it's
all that shit is
historical
built
and
off of
everything.
Satanism.
Can he just be like erased into history and forgotten?
Disturbing historical facts that you wish I hadn't have told you. Up until the 1980s, it was believed that babies couldn't feel pain, so during operations they didn't give them any anesthesia. Instead, they gave them muscle relaxers, so the baby wouldn't be able to move, but they would still be crying. In the 18th century, Mary Todd convinced doctors that she was giving birth to rabbits. However, they ended up finding corn in one of the rabbits' stomach, which proved it wasn't developed inside of her. Turns out she'd been manually inserting them to make the delivery look as realistic as possible. In the 1930s in London, parents would keep their babies in cages so they could get fresh air. Just imagine walking down the road and...
What's even more terrible is that it was considered norm. It's even more
seeing this today.
One of the most horrible things in the human history was child labor, and what's even more terrible is that it was considered normal. A newborn was seen as future labor. An old age insurance policy for most of the human history. From an early age, children were expected to help around the farm, house, or business. Around the turn of the century, as the economy progressed and so did urbanization, children worked in a wide range of industries, careers, and professions. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics in the United States maintains a track of all of this. They claim that rural kids have now been employed in resource extraction, for instance, mining and conveying coal, in addition to the traditional farming and agricultural field labor that they had historically done 100 years ago. Children from the coastal towns could be found fishing, shoring, and shucking oysters for cannings. As for the cities and towns of all sizes, children worked in mills and factories, making products such as glass, textiles, kitchenware, cigars, and more. The children from large cities, however, could be seen talking around careers, drivers, cleaners, newsies, and more. In almost every level of the U.S. economy, child labor was involved. However, the children themselves didn't get to enjoy the money they earned. The society saw these kids as an extra source of income for their parents.
The man's distressed.
Hey, that's wild though. You gotta think though, bro. In my travels, I remember like flying on certain missions and we'd land in places that was janky as hell, like dirt road type shit, right? You would see children out there working with their parents. Parents were out there chopping down trees for the runway and stuff, just getting it all prepared and stuff. But the little kids are like 5, 6, 7, maybe out there helping, picking up little logs and stuff. And it's just like that in certain places. So that's not ordinary. But when I come back here, that's why I say, man, cherish what you have. Because it's a lot worse in other places. A lot of these kids, look, y'all take that shit for granted. Oh, going outside, having fun, and playing, getting on TikTok, or whatever y'all do nowadays. But you got to understand, in other places, it ain't like that. So be grateful for what you have and make the best out of it, for real. Stop complaining about everything. You know, it could get better, but, I mean...
In fact, I know is that houses of all kinds existed in Victorian London, but for children. The girls who worked there were often as young as 9, and their customers were young boys who lived a life of crime. By 1852, prison inspectors of the Home District found that these children were riddled with venereal disease by the time that they were 12.
What is the most disturbing history fact you know? In the 1800s, a woman named Madame Marie Delphine LaLaurie did some really horrific things to slaves she owned at the time, including cutting off their genitals and sewing them shut in the mouths of still living victims and similar things. I think she only got found out when a cook intentionally set the house on fire hoping to kill everyone inside because death was better than what was happening to them inside the house.
The most disturbing torture and execution.
Hey, y'all want to know where I have a hard time believing that type of stuff right there? Is the simple fact is just, I don't know, just my mindset, bro. I couldn't imagine somebody like sewing my mouth closed. Look, I'm going to go out with a bang. You ain't going to get a chance to do that to me. Get my hands on you, it's over for you. Not gonna out-muscle me, none of that stuff. I got endurance, all of that. I just don't see how people will go out like that. I don't care about all that fear stuff. Oh, this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen regardless. If you wanna try to put something like that in my motherfucking mouth and sew my shit, you got it messed up. It's gonna happen to you. You're not gonna do that to me. Or I'm just gonna go out with a bang. I'm gonna be dead by the time you get to do that to me. Real talk.
Methods in History, Part 1. The Brazen Bull. This is a method where they would put you in a metal bowl and heat it up with fire, so that when you cooked, your screams could be heard. And the only person known to have been killed this way was the guy who made it. Impalement as a method of torture and execution. When you're impaled, you're dying slowly over the days with a wooden pole through your body. Also, Vlad the Impaler impaled kids as well.
Yo, what's up? Here's some disturbing history facts that your teacher didn't teach you, but I'm about...
Paying for in-flight Wi-Fi for months before I finally caught it. Rocket Money uncovers hidden subscriptions and notifies you when a charge is upcoming. From there, you decide if you want that service. And if not, cancel it right from the app with one tap. Download...
Part 2. Did you know that in 1929, 2 researchers turned a live cat into a telephone? And I know what you're thinking, there is literally no way. But sure enough, 2 scientists from Princeton wanted to test how the auditory nerve perceives sound. So they cut out a piece of the cat's brain and went to work. So while the cat was heavily sedated but still very much alive, they attached one side of the wire to the auditory nerve of the cat and the other to a receiver, and they just began talking back and forth with a normal conversation. A little strange if you ask me. Back in the early 1900s, there was a Russian mystic named Rasputin, and he survived not 1, not 2, but 3 assassination attempts on him. The first attempt, someone tried to poison him. The second attempt, someone shot him. And the third attempt, someone stabbed him. And yet he was still kicking after all of this. And eventually he was wrapped in a blanket and thrown in a river, and that's how he died. But not before assassins cut off his private parts and pickled them in a jar.
Top 3 rare photos from history.
Man, what's up with that, man? What's up with dudes doing that, man? Like that's insane, bro. That's pure jealousy. Pickle it for what you want to do, save it for later and deep-throat it. Like, that's crazy. To put a pickle down your throat, like, that's weird, bro.
We've spoken about mass genocide that had started and lasted for over a year. It happened so quick, and there were so many dead, the original rough estimate was around tens of thousands to 500,000 deaths. But now that figure stands as 500,000 being the low, to upwards of 3 million people killed. And they were killed for being Communist Party members, in preparation of the New Order of Political Conservatives. This picture was taken moments before the mass execution and dismemberment. Number 2, the oldest existing photo of a Native American, depicting a man known as Chief Keokuk, most likely being the first because of his well-known cooperation with the colonizers at the time. Despite signing over land multiple times to keep the white settlers from killing his people, he and the Sauk tribe were forcibly moved time and time again from their land that still continued after his deals. And number 1, Kim Il-sung, grandfather to Kim Jong-un, a North Korean president, noticed a baseball-sized tumor on the back of his neck. When it first manifested, he banned all photographers from taking pictures that included it, and then started taking all of his pictures, turning to the left. Once it was too hard to hide, all of his photos were airbrushed before they were released to the public. To keep the facade of perfection he was known so well for.
Just give me the gun.
Perfection. You see all those craters in his face? What the hell look like perfection? Look like the moon. Shit look like the moon on your face. Like, that shit ain't perfection, bro. Like, come on, stop it. Learn a little bit more about, that's not my history. Be for real with you, man. A lot of that shit was other people's history. But at the simple fact of it, it's crazy what they used to do and the thought processes back in the day. And to be real with y'all, just not that long ago. 1900s, we just came out of there. 1800s, not too far behind. 1700s, not too far behind, bro. But it is what it is, man. History is history, man. Like, that's not his story. You get it? His story, not my story. That ain't mine. Like, they be trying to lie about my shit, but that's crazy, man. Dope video right here, man. Let me know what y'all thought about this video right here, and I'll see you on the next one, man. We're gonna have many more to drop, man. Just watch the videos that you want to drop, that you want to watch, and that's it, man. Make sure y'all share these videos. Make sure y'all tune into the lives. Make sure y'all got y'all notifications on so y'all can get these videos as soon as they drop. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Like I always say, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See you in the next video. I'm out though. Bye.
At the 75th anniversary event at Raymour & Flanigan, save on 75 pieces perfect for every room in your home. Or buy now and pay later with special financing. Takes 75 months to pay with no interest. Only at Raymour &
Hey, what it be? It's your boy Dre OG. Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're rocking with the vibes and the content. But look, man, we got this woke TikTok conspiracy theory compilation video right here, man. Hopefully y'all having a good day. Just know we're gonna do this thing called Life Together, man. We need this video to hit 3,000 likes immediately, man. Go ahead and smash that thing right now. I know we about to get into this. Let's get it.
To fuck up the FCC commissioner calls Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their app stores. Y'all wanna know why? Listen to this shit.
Everyone wants to be TikTok right now, and all these companies are trying to roll out short-form video to compete better with TikTok.
Everybody wants to be TikTok. So what are you seeing? What actions are these companies taking, and why do they want to be TikTok?
Well, I think the problem is the old playbook was buy up these rivals, and they're not able to do that right now with antitrust scrutiny. So their second best option is to copy them. We saw Facebook do that really effectively with Instagram stories, with disappearing posts, which was what Snapchat pioneered. But they haven't been able to do that with short-form video, and I think it's just because TikTok has just captured young people, it's captured the cultural zeitgeist, and it's just far ahead of all these competitors.
Right, so that's the real challenge. And there's been a lot of stories, Brian, lately about TikTok and its ownership and the data that American users have, maybe being seen by China. Fill us in on that.
Sure. I mean, I think what we saw this past week was TikTok announcing that it moved all of its U.S. users' data to a platform owned and operated by Oracle, which goes toward addressing some of the concerns that U.S. national security have raised about TikTok's links to China. It is owned by a Chinese company, and the company has really had a hard time trying to address those concerns that U.S. users' data could be put at risk if the Chinese government were to try to get access to it, for example. I say.
Did China pose a national security threat?
It collects the sites that you visit. It collects your search history. It collects your keystrokes. That should give us great concern.
Cybersecurity experts with the Department of Homeland Security, FBI, and Department of Justice.
Alright, so listen, right? We all know what's supposed to happen on July 5th with CERN, right? Listen, man, my thoughts are, once this event takes place, bro, they're going to try to get rid of the app so we can be disconnected from the world. Once this joint is gone, bro, we're not going to be connected anymore. Like, the information is going to be like, I'm telling y'all, bro. And then we're going to be encountering all this crazy shit, bro. It's going to be over. It's over. It's over.
Do not.
Hey, look, man, I don't want y'all to get, like, worked up over that shit right there, though. Look, be for real with you. Look, when we used to have to, I used to be on missions, I used to have to go over there in China, right? We used to have to turn off our devices, not use our devices. be out there in those areas because they would try to hack us over and over and over again. But what y'all don't understand is we're doing the same thing to them. Same thing to them. Everybody's trying to get a one-up. United States, you know, they're taking our information on the daily. They got Siri listening to everything that we're doing. So, I mean,
Epilepsy demands a dependable routine, yet life isn't always predictable.
then CERN, that don't have.
I gotta look something up real quick. Cause all motherfuckers always be talking about Chinese TikTok different.
Huh?
哎呦我的妈！
What the fuck?
会黑人会变，咱是感情气氛。有人。有。哎呀！哎呀呀呀呀呀呀呀呀呀呀呀呀！有人。
Don't use the freedom of speech as an excuse to cover your bullshit.
If you guys watched last week's video on my channel, you would have noticed that I talked about the Chinese Communist Party's propaganda influence over an app called TikTok. Now the funny thing is I have to give you an update because the more stuff that was recommended to me and the more stuff that I was harvesting for the actual video, it led to more and more recommendations of other propaganda content, and it got more and more sinister. And I wanted to show you guys the rabbit hole that I ended up going down. I wasn't even looking for this stuff, but this is now on my For You page. It's pretty much all Chinese propaganda. And I found this channel very coercive and kind of scary in that it's predominantly trying to appeal to young people and tell them that, you know, freedom and democracy and all the values that they learn is wrong, and that the Chinese way is the correct way. And it's very slick. I'll show you guys that before we get into the video.
美国也是一样，这个国家一开始是为了一小群白人男性的有产者的利益而建立的，宪法是为了保障这个群体的利益而制定的，所以它制度的设计处处体现了对一个少数群体的保护，性的分配不平等就暴露出来了。今年的美国大选就是一场非常生动的表演，可以看出来一部分美国人气急败坏的要维持特权利益。回头再说说咱们中国，中国自古啊有个理想叫天下为公，也就是说天下是天下人的天下。
You're from Haiti, right?
And just like our other friends that spoke before, does it boil your blood to hear people talk negatively about this country?
I'm straight up. Life hits so good, that's why you take it for granted, because privilege is invisible for those who have it. So wake up every day, your fridge have food and everything, you have electricity, you can go to school. Where I come from, I didn't have that chance. I have to walk like 15 miles every day to go to school to know how to read. But you have PlayStation and Xbox, but you are complaining every day, and you are BLM, you are Antifa, and all that BS. So, I mean, what is your take on that?
And so this goes back to my opening remarks, which is you've lived a tough life and now you have it better. Every day you wake up thankful. And that is the core bedrock, isn't it? That's the difference. Is that people that are not thankful to live in this country, they scoff at this. They say, human suffering is my Netflix not loading fast enough. My Uber Eats not getting there in time. You know what difficulty is.
You're a short guy with Benefiber.
Don't know how many of you guys heard about this, but apparently Google is blocking the word Wumao. Now, Wumao, if you're not informed, is a paid internet troll in China that is basically paid 50 cents, Chinese cents, to sway the narrative on comment sections of videos on Facebook and basically promote the Communist Party of China and put down anything that opposes it. Although a lot of the people that are Wumao are actually voluntary Wumao that do it of their own volition, it basically started with this idea that China needed a better international image. Now, the fact that Google is blocking people from writing Wumao in the comments section is kind of alarming in itself. So I figured, in order to combat censorship, in order to spread the word, why not put it on a shirt? Let's show the bloody nature of the Wumao in merch. Go to everpress.com/Lau86, limited time only to pick up your awesome Wumao t-shirt and tell the world that you are against internet censorship. Thanks for your support. Okay guys, so like I promised, today's video is going to be about Douyin and the fact that Douyin is the Chinese version of TikTok. It's what Chinese people watch. But the prevalence of Chinese propaganda on Douyin in English is fascinating. It's almost as if they find English speakers to give more authority to their message, because if a Chinese person is watching another Chinese person speak English, then they're immediately going to be impressed because of their level of education or their global understanding. So if this person has seen other perspectives around the world and then can, parrot back CCP rhetoric or Communist Party of China rhetoric back to them in English is more impressive than somebody doing so in Chinese. On the flip side, getting foreigners in China to speak Chinese gives them authority as well, because it's like, okay, wow, this foreigner loves China so much they decided to learn Chinese and parrot back Chinese propaganda as well. But I talked about the soft power approach in the last video on TikTok. It's a much more gentle approach, whereas the Chinese version of propaganda in the Chinese app Douyin is a much, much more direct and powerful approach, and I can't wait to show you guys some of the stuff I found. Now, we're going to move on to the hard power, and the hard power is Douyin. So you notice that the soft power propaganda I just showed you is quite gentle. It's quite wishy-washy. You saw the professor kind of all over the place. When you go over to Douyin, it's a different story. Now, Douyin, remember, is Chinese TikTok. It's for Chinese people. And you'll see the same types of characters. You'll see the Chinese person promoting nationalism and Chinese propaganda. You'll see the white monkey positions where they get white people or foreigners to talk about how awesome China is and how bad the West is. But at it's turning it up to 11. They know that that's not palatable to a Western audience, but for a Chinese audience, they need that push. They need that punch in the stomach. Yes, we are Chinese. Yes, the West is bad. And it's even better when foreigners tell us that. So this guy, I found, he's from Canada. He is a good stepping point, a good stepping stone into some of the more harsh.
What happened to the sound?
smart enough to not need my retort on any of these facts. But this is the type of person that does normal kind of, oh, I'm a foreigner, what's the lao why? I like Chinese 女生, you know, there's 比较漂亮. Does like funny little skits in Chinese and English for a Chinese audience. And then immediately shifts when there's some sort of prerogative or reason to be able to do this. So when the Wuhan virus came out, or the CCP virus came out, he immediately jumped on this opportunity to really stoke some nationalism and hatred for the West. And this is a very typical thing that you'll see. You can see this is a carbon copy. There's nothing too interesting about this clip, but I found a clip that he had that aged like milk. It is awesome. Wait till you see this.
大家好，我是加拿大的大白老师，我想分享一下特别好的信息。Canada will not follow the United States and declare the virus a public emergency. Chinese are freely allowed to travel to Canada. 我们加拿大跟你们在一起。
Okay, guys. All right. So he basically says in Chinese, he says, I have a very important announcement to tell you. Canada's not going to be like America and declaring a national emergency over this coronavirus. We will welcome all Chinese people into our borders. After China already knew it was a massive pandemic within their own borders, it shut down everyone from Wuhan. I'm not here to retort, But I just thought this aged like milk. It was hilarious. He's so proud and so smarmy to say Canada's not going to declare a national emergency, and Chinese people and Canadians are just friends. So it's totally open borders. I reveled in that one. That was great. And actually, I'd like to go see if he left that one up, because I doubt it.
加油 China.
Is it typical, like, when there's a problem going on with Huawei or China, look at some, either mixed Chinese person or Russian person to basically say, come on, let's go Huawei, let's go China, and then sing some bullshit song.
It's not until you fall.
This is another example of what will be spread around on Douyin. A lot of these are actually directed towards foreigners within China. So this one is actually when the pandemic was absolutely blowing up in China. And then the Yiwu city in eastern China actually went on social media to tell all foreigners that it's totally fine and you should totally come back and start trading in the trade market in Yiwu.
Thank you for your support and cooperation during the fight against coronavirus. Now the disease has been controlled. The EU market is open. We welcome foreign friends from across the world coming back to EU again. EU immigration is sincerely at your service.
Well, I don't think they are now, considering foreigners are not allowed into China. This was not posted weeks ago, but this is months ago. Like imploring people on Douyin to come back to China. Get back here, don't worry, the coronavirus is done. This guy slaps. This guy is he's like an old rapper. Oh man, this song slaps so hard. Wait till you hear the sick beat.
One love. Wuhan, stay strong. 中国坚强，世界 is one. We will overcome. 谁天天工作通宵？谁天天寻找疫苗？谁天天进行治疗？中国大夫，您好。
Man, that hit deep. That hit hard. It's a great example of a foreigner that's promoted in Chinese social media, because with those kind of sick rap skills, with those sick rhymes and beats that he's self-produced. He even shows his computer there just to prove that he made it himself. With that kind of unbelievable talent, obviously he wouldn't have an audience in the West. But when you go to China, you can speak very basic Chinese. You can if you put yourself out there and you're less ashamed, you care less about face than the average Chinese person, then you will get an audience because you're exotic. You're promoting Chinese nationalism. You're promoting Chinese unity and all this kind of stuff. As long as you don't go political, and as long as you don't have an opinion, any sort of negative opinion about Chinese food, Chinese culture, Chinese government, anything, as long as you're promoting China and you're the silly foreigner, you will rise the ranks. And it's a very good example. I mean, you'll see thousands of these guys putting out Douyin videos, and you notice this is not on TikTok. This would be probably laughed at on TikTok by English speakers, but a hero in China because he's a foreigner. Now, this is where I'm so glad you guys stuck around for this video, because this is where the juice is. Now we're going in gloves off. This is Douyin at its finest. This woman is the most abrasive, nationalist, unbelievable Wu Mao level little pink I've ever seen in my entire life. And they obviously snatched her up because she's an English speaker. You have to see the level she goes to. You guys are gonna love this.
Is a friendly and inclusive country. We welcome friends from all parts of the world. Even in this special time, we still try our best to provide necessary assistance to the foreigners and treat them equally. But that doesn't mean we don't have a bottom line. This is our land. This is our country. You come here, you should follow the rules here. Today's China is nothing like what it was 100 years ago. So if you still think you're privileged and superior and don't behave yourself, then you will never be welcomed here, and will make you pay the price.
Well, why does she have to go into that song? That's totally gonna copyright me. So I'm gonna pay the price, dude. So she goes, she does like a good mix of like speaking to, there's a reason there's Chinese subtitles. She wants to speak and really bolster up nationalism, get people riled up within China. That's why this stuff is promoted. She's quite popular. And then she's also kind of talking to foreigners in some of these, but foreigners within the Chinese borders, just to scare the shit out of them. Basically saying, if you don't follow the rules, we will F you up. And her tone is crazy. Look at her eyes, dude. It's insane. Oh my gosh. She reminds me of some sort of character from something. It's not coming to me right now. But I've gathered some of her best content here. Some of the stuff goes into like absolute wild inaccuracies and falsehoods, and some of them actually make me scared.
Freeloading Fetterman sponged off his parents till he was 49 and didn't even pay his taxes.
The freedom of speech does not mean you can say whatever you want.
Wait, sorry. I hate people that pause stuff, but the freedom of speech means that you cannot say whatever you want. Just let that stew for a second. So the freedom of speech means you can't say what you want to say. That's a very interesting perspective, and I finally understand the Chinese government's take on that. You know, when you see their 12 core socialist values, and one of them is democracy and freedom, I understand what their definition is now, because apparently it means the opposite of that. This one gets fierce, and she even throws in a couple naughty words.
You have to take the responsibility for what you say. The real freedom of speech should be built on the ground of mutual understanding and respect. Without that, what you say is pure slander. So don't use the freedom of speech as an excuse to cover your bullshit. And I want to remind you that China is nothing like what you think of decades of years ago. We are the strongest engine for the global economy, and we're helping people around the world to reduce the poverty and hunger. And now we're working with many countries to fight against the virus, which will save millions of lives. So instead of doing something so meaningless and useless, why don't you shut up and do something good for the world?
Oh my god. Dude, that's a bit harsh. That's a little bit harsh. I got really nervous when she swore at me, but then when she told me to shut up, I felt really bad. She's terrifying. She's absolutely terrifying, but she also has this very fierce attitude that wouldn't be tolerated most places, but if you've been to China and you speak Chinese, you'll see that when a leader or somebody that's a key opinion leader or someone on stage, something like that, is really trying to rustle everyone's jimmies and get everyone to stand up and really be proud, they always make everyone shout, and they shout at them, and they use very harsh language and stuff. It's a very mainland Chinese attribute to have. But she goes on for some just great stuff here.
In many movies, one single American can save the world. However, in reality, when the mankind facing a big crisis, it is China who stands out.
I tried to go through this once so I didn't laugh during the videos. I apologize.
And save the world. Up to now, we have helped 82 countries and organizations worldwide. Among them, some are our old friends, but some are not so friendly to us before. But still, we decided to stretch out our helping hands to all of them.
How charitable, China. I just love the fact that you took all the world's PPE and kept it for yourself and shut down your borders domestically, but let 5 million people get out and travel around the world. Thank you so much for that helping hand. Appreciate it. You know, I really loved her analogy with the American hero as well. In most movies, There's one American hero that can save the world, and that's just fantastic. But in reality, when mankind is facing a crisis, it's China who stands out and saves the world. You know, it's kind of ironic as well, because if you watch a Chinese movie, and this is a good reference, this is Wolf Warrior Tactics. Wolf Warrior was a horrible series of movies that is just hilarious, very thickly veiled propaganda in China, where, you know, the Chinese soldiers save the world. And it's kind of ironic that she says, you know, in movies, it's usually the American that saves the world. Well, keep in mind, most movies are made in Hollywood, so wouldn't it be an American that saves the world? Wouldn't that make a little bit of sense?
Here are some numbers for your reference. Last year, our GDP is 7 times of Italy's, and we have shut down almost all of our industries for nearly 2 months, while Italy just started to shut down its seeds. Which one lost more money? I think it's pretty obvious, right?
This one's great, needs some context. So she did a video previously about how China and Italy are partners, and historically Italy built some universities and hospitals in China, so that's why they reached out to Italy to help them and to give all these supplies, and that's why Italy and China have always been allies and friends. Then she goes on to say that Italy's poor and then China has so much more money. So she completely picks a flavor of the weak enemy basically whenever her CCP directive stands over and says, no, actually we're gonna say that the virus came from Italy this week, so you should probably shit on Italy today. So I think it's funny that her content goes back and forth like crazy.
More Americans are willing to give traditional Chinese medicine a shot.
Demand for formulas is off the charts.
All places have sold out of all of their herbs.
So this is a great piece of propaganda that's about Chinese medicine. I saw a trend of this everywhere. It was on TikTok, it was on Douyin, it was all over the place. That now the West is reaching out to China for Chinese medicine because nothing's working, and Chinese medicine definitely works. Wait till you hear what this chick says about the stats of Chinese medicine with the coronavirus.
Many people didn't know that the traditional Chinese medicine, with a history of thousands of years, have played a very significant role in this war against virus. According to the statistics, over 90% of the confirmed cases in China have received the Chinese medicine treatment, and the overall effective rate is as high as 92%.
So 92% of people in China recovered or were cured of the coronavirus because of Chinese medicine. And she's going to tell you what medicine that is.
As China continues to export its experience to the world, the Chinese medicine is saving lives in more and more countries. Among medical supplies that China donated to Italy, Iran, and other countries, there are 2 traditional Chinese medicine, Lianhua Qingwen and Jinhua Qinggan, which are derived from 2 ancient prescriptions that have a history of nearly 2,000 years.
How did we know that this new novel coronavirus that nobody has seen before could be cured by 2 Chinese ancient medicines that were discovered 2,000 years ago? Now that's the secret to China's success. That's why nobody died of the coronavirus in China, right? That's why we just haven't caught on yet. Our simple, tiny Western brains, our Western science, our Western medicine, all of these crazy things that we just can't comprehend because it's too ancient. The culture's too deep.
From Europe to the United States, from Iran to South Korea, we have witnessed more and more countries using the Chinese medicine to fight against the virus. The traditional Chinese medicine, once questioned by the Western countries, has now become the best therapy to save tens of thousands of lives. I strongly believe that after this pandemic, the traditional Chinese medicine, with a history of thousands of years, will be accepted and recognized by more and more people around the world, and will contribute to the well-being of all mankind.
Now this is a perfect example of blatant lies, absolute hypocrisy, flip-flopping, and also the fact that this would never be broadcast on Western media because nobody could swallow this. She's just told, 1.4 billion potential Chinese people watching Douyin, that everyone is accepting Chinese medicine. It's not only that, it saved the world. It cured almost everybody in China of coronavirus. And then after the pandemic is over, everybody in Western countries is going to predominantly use Chinese medicine from now on. You could see how that wouldn't be well tolerated by people that actually, have a brain or a head on their shoulders about this kind of stuff. But when you've been fed propaganda, and you've been poisoned by this education system your entire life. When you see something like this, it's not ridiculous to them. It's self-affirming. It's reaffirming. It's like, yeah, our Chinese medicine is superior, and that's why we ended up doing better. It's not because we lied about the numbers and allowed the entire virus to spread around the world. It has nothing to do with that. It's because we use these two ancient prescriptions from 2,000 years ago that somehow predicted a bat-derived virus that was going to be a pandemic 2,000 years later, back when Jesus was around. So, not to critique this woman's theories here, I just wanted to show you guys the different ways that the Chinese government likes to promote soft power on TikTok, which is a very popular app right now in the West, versus the ways that they do it in China. Both of them include speaking English, because that is a force to be reckoned with. If you speak English in China, then you are more educated than other people. So when they have these people speaking as authorities with very powerful voice and powerful messages, speaking to Chinese people with subtitles, it carries more weight than a Chinese person holding up a flag and saying, I love China. Like, this is more like, oh no, this woman speaks English, so she probably spent time abroad, she's probably well liked and appreciated and respected by her Western colleagues out there. And that's what they do. You'll see a new shift in Chinese propaganda. It's less like North Korea stuff. It's more like stuff you'll see on CGTN and CCTV, where they'll get a well-spoken English speaker to refute all of these things that Westerners think, in a very convincing manner. I'm not buying any of this shit. I don't think you guys either, but I thought you guys would like a little break.
That was weird.
Like, gloom that everyone's dealing with right now currently. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys go out there and find your own soft.
Hey, stop using these for ear cleaning. They're even banned to use in the United Kingdom. Cotton swabs are not designed for earwax removal. They only push everything deeper. If you still use cotton swabs, you may see some earwax on them after use. But the thing is, all you did is just push all the earwax deeper into your ear. And what you see is actually only a very small part of it. This could lead to serious health issues such as hearing loss, tinnitus, chronic headaches, and high blood pressure, just to name a few. The good news is that a medical residency student has created a solution. He noticed thousands of people coming to the hospital complaining of similar symptoms. Doctors were struggling to find the cause of the problem, and in most cases simply recommended painkillers. Until the arrival of someone almost deaf. He was complaining of balance issues, tinnitus, and random headaches. What they found after detailed research shocked everyone. Accumulated earwax was the cause of almost all his health problems. A hospital resident reached out to all patients complaining of similar symptoms and recommended them to visit an ear, nose, and throat doctor, also known as an ENT. After 1 month, his inbox was overflowing with thank you letters for the solution to their problem. But they were all asking the same question. How do I clean my ears properly? The resident searched online for safe and affordable ear cleaners, but only found dangerous Chinese stuff, which could cause more harm than good. So he took matters into his own hands and developed a brilliant alternative. He named it Twiddler, a new earwax cleaning tool that catches all of the built-up earwax and pulls it out of your ears as you twist it. There is no risk of injury or any side effects. After he saw how well it worked, he started selling the product online. At first, he relied exclusively on word of mouth. What he didn't expect was his product winning a Healthcare Innovations Award. Since then, he has sold over 5 million Twiddler earwax cleaners all over the world. To celebrate his award, the inventor is launching a 50% discount for the next 24 hours. His mission is to spread the importance of clean ears and good hearing. So he set a goal to reduce the number of people suffering from hearing problems by half till 2030. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, and even your mailman what you see in this video. Want my advice? It's 2022, so ditch the old-fashioned cotton swabs and get a Twiddler by clicking the link below for a 50% discount. This is a limited time opportunity while supplies last, and the price is set to increase at any moment. Click the link below to visit the official website and claim your discount today.
not a dish. You're a man. Jack Haldro founded Dr. Squatch in 2013. Jack suffered from psoriasis and found that most commercial soaps irritated his skin. After researching alternative products, he started creating soaps using only natural ingredients. Ingredients like essential oils, shea butter, sea salt, and kaolin clay. The cold processed soaps made Jack's skin look and feel better than ever. And when infused with all the manly fragrances nature has to offer, Jack's soap started smelling better than regular store-bought brands. Jack realized that most guys aren't aware of the benefits of natural products, and that it was difficult for guys to even find natural products where they live. So he created Dr. Squatch to sell high-quality natural soaps across America. Dr. Squatch continues his mission to inspire everyday men to be healthier and happier.
I have nothing to do with the whole TikTok thing.
Engaged, do not engage, do not engage, do not engage, do not engage. Mind your business, mind your peace. Think happy, high vibrational thoughts. Protect your energy, protect your peace. Do not engage, do not engage. Don't listen to that song. Do not watch that movie. Do not watch that TV show. Do not entertain that conversation. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. Protect your energy.
Another reason they don't want you wearing your hair long is because it connects you to nature. The more you let your matted hair, matted ether, the more you let your matted ether grow, it holds all this electricity and energy. See, this is why we wore our hair like that. And we are magnets, magnetism. So this makes you more magnetic. Your hair makes everything about you. It's like your locks is like crystals. Your locks is just like wearing motherfucking crystals. You know what I'm saying? Your locks or your afro, and you let your hair just grow out. Braids, locks, naturally, when you let your hair just grow naturally. Okay, how you style it? You can style it how you want to style it.
Forgetting I got a microwave up here.
Especially with all this light coating they're doing. Because then you got ether, it helps protect you against it, especially when you're women. The longer my get, the more I become, the more tapped in I become with everything, with all the nature, everything we attract. See, look, when you go in the military, they program the fuck out you, right? And notice, what do the military do? Shave their head. They understand the signs of you, man. They understand the signs of you. And when you get to noticing this shit, you can see it's war. Every little thing has been around you just to hinder you. And once you accept that, that's the cookie. That's the cookie that nobody wants to crumble.
Real talk, though, they had a war on that shit. Like, look, I felt like when I was in the military, there was a war on the black man. Real. Like, women, you know, if their hair is puffy, you know, you can't wear certain hairstyles because they have implement rules that don't fit a lifestyle, like our reality. You know, they try to alter our reality. Like our beards, they wanted me to shave with a razor. What a razor would do to my face is make my hair curl back up into my face, and then make my shit look like a Star Crunch instantly. And these bumps will be there for like a good couple of months until they grow out, they'll pus up, they hurt, they bleed and stuff like that, and they'll scar your face. But it seems like they didn't give a damn. Like, they give you a hard time, bro. You be walking around the base and they be like, hey, you got your shaving waiver, and you got to show these motherfuckers like a waiver. Y'all can have a little 5 o'clock shadow, you know, but they used to hate us. They used to call us dirt bags because we had beards, like little 5 o'clock shadows. But they used to say, you know, it's like that because if the gas mask situation happened, you ain't gonna put, like, bro, that ain't that. Y'all just trying to control us, man. You know, because I had my gas mask on and I tried it with my hair on my face and it didn't let any gas in. So that couldn't have been it. Up to another dummy.
I don't know how this earth used to be and how it's going to be pretty soon. Yeah, we doing it, exposing Avatar. Because it definitely was a documentary on how this planet actually used to be and the people. In this land, they found so many new organisms, beings, trees, all types of advanced psychological things happening on this planet. Mainly because they wanted to colonize and obtain resources that would make them rich.
Look at that.
Sound familiar? In the movie, there were these beings called the Na'vi people. Their bodies were so advanced and connected to the earth. And they seemed to have dressed to African clothing. Now, the Na'vi people were very, very tall. And so was nature. All the trees, everything was literally lit. There's the same thing about giants on Earth. 8 to 10 feet people living and walking around in the past. Taller than the regular humans. Because who was these steps for? I'm not just making this up. Also in the movie, there were big, tall, giant trees. You know, on Earth, the mountains that look like they cut off trees. Now, in this movie, they was willing to do whatever, knocking down sacred trees, doing all types of things that hurt the planet and the Earth and everything that was connected to it. Sound familiar? Now, all around the planet, there are these tall people on the walls, and they call them gods and giants and all types of things. What if all of these advanced beings who are called gods in different religions were just highly advanced beings in the past? And in the past, these people who are saying them call them gods. I mean, who knows what our DNA is capable of? So these humans want what these highly intelligent beings have. So they invaded and took advantage of the peace that we had. AKA Native Americans, Africans, Egyptians, all that. Same thing that they did to the Navi people in the movie. So much bad, sad, negative things happening on this planet to where it can't even be its full potential because it's trying to clean itself up. Prime example, while we're alive, we take so much resources from the earth. And then when we die, we put ourselves in coffins, unaccessed to the earth or the soil. In the movie Avatar, they literally bury their bodies to give back to the earth, but we don't even do that. Let's really try to understand what this movie meant and what we're capable of. Always stay dangerous.
All right, let's talk about CERN. I wasn't planning on making...
Hey, look, how they say they hide stuff in plain sight, that's exactly how they do it right there in movies and stuff. Y'all gotta understand what they're talking about. You see how that movie start to change its tone? That's because things are starting to happen a lot faster than what they thought it was. And now they have to put that information out here for you guys to know. Now you see everybody, like, they're pronouncing the dreads and stuff on the avatars and stuff, and the clothing and everything. Oh, man. Pay attention. Y'all got to be open to new information. Not saying believe it, just have your brain think about something other than the reality that they presented for you.
About this, but a lot of y'all keep asking me what's my thoughts on it, so fuck it. Well, CERN is supposed to be this machine or device or whatever that's supposed to make our universes collide, or I don't know, I haven't read too much into it. There's a very evil agenda on whatever they're doing. They know something that we don't. I'm gonna try to take a look at the CERN logo. You all see the 666, the 3 6s? 1 6, 2 6, 3 6. Just pause it and look at it. First y'all think I'm reaching it because why would they put 666 in the logo, right? It's not like the first time. 6, 6, and another 6. Look closely. Pause it and look. Still reaching? At the Google Chrome sign. 6, 6, and another 6. Put the shit in our face all of the time. Pause and read this and tell me if this is all a coincidence. They're talking about 666. They're talking about the number of the beast, the devil number, 666.
But that's not what
out
it is.
of all numbers, is that the devil number? Maybe because carbon-12 composed is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons.
Let's reimagine the way the world works so you can reinvent the way you excel and rediscover those moments of genius.
You guys meet again?
My bad. I
Dude,
don't know why I was in
Muslim match. You don't have to be Muslim.
Nah, they want everybody on.
Us as black people have 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons.
Did I really hit the button?
In our skin, this is carbon. That's all life contains carbon, but this is literally all carbon, all melanin. That's why we look down on so much in this world. We're the evil ones, we're the bad ones, we're the devils. Did you know if you look in the Bible or anything, you won't find out one reason why the devil number is 666? This is just a wild coincidence. But I have to change locations. Anyway, do y'all see this statue that's in front of the CERN building? Y'all know who this is? This is a statue of the Hindu deity Shiva. Take a look at this. What is Shiva's role in the universe? Shiva's role is to destroy the universe in order to recreate it. CERN's mission is to help to uncover what the universe is made out of and how it works. I think this is just a coincidence. You have to put this shit in your face. How much longer until you finally see this shit for what it is? Like, nobody questions nothing. They put everything right in front of y'all. This is the main thing to remember. Do not be worried about this whole CERN shit. I told y'all to not worry about anything that you can't control. Just focus on yourself. Take care of yourself. If you eating healthy, if you taking care of yourself, if you showing love to others, you got nothing to worry about on this entire planet. Worry about what you can control. Love y'all.
3 signs you're a popular loner.
And I know that might be a little bit hard for some of y'all people to digest though, but yes, look it up. Look up what 666 is, man. Like, so y'all, there's a lot of people you train like that, and I understand though. From the bottom of my heart, I understand why you would think of things a lot differently because you were programmed to do that early on. For me, you know, as a child, I can already see things for what they were. Like if they're having a new sale, I can see who they're trying to. I see the audience they're trying to target, just like For example, the Bank of America all of a sudden want to give money to black people when the housing market is at its height, and they know that once these people get these houses, the people that's gullible to do it, all of a sudden the market is going to fucking crash on them. Now you're going to be stuck because you bought this house at the top, and then they got to find some dummies to hold the damn bag. Since I bet, let's get it.
1. Always listening to music. 2. Have little to no real friends. 3. Preferred.
If the sun is in space, no. Why is there light on Earth and no light in space?
One more time, I couldn't hear you.
I call on Michael the Archangel.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been showing y'all.
I call on Michael the Archangel.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been showing y'all crystals and shit. That shit funny as hell. I ain't gonna cap it.
Angel of protection. I call on Raphael, the Archangel of healing. I call on Gabriel, the Archangel of messages. I ask for your help and protection during this time of need. Surround me with your angelic light and keep me safe as I sleep at night. Be by my side throughout the day and hear my callings as I pray. May you bless me with your never-ending love. Amen.
This is the truth about crystals. So there's a lot of speculation about crystals because not everybody believes that they work. Some people don't even believe that crystals are real. So let's talk about where they come from and how they can enhance your energy. Crystals come from the crust of the earth. The reason why each crystal looks different is because they went through different processes of being formed. A lot of crystals have different elements too. So after millions of years of being formed, they finally come out looking like this. Different colors, different variations, and different meanings. So the question now is, how can these crystals benefit us? As we all know, everything is made up of energy, including us. Well, not only do crystals have their own energy, but they also store it too. Which is why if you put a crystal necklace on, it's able to shift your energy on its own. Each crystal is able to shift your energy based off the elements it was created with, which is why yellow jasper can increase your happiness, or black obsidian can help you with stability. But it's only works if you use legitimate crystals. So if you guys want to try this out, I recommend you shopping at beyond5d.com. Not only are their crystals authentic, but they also have different variations and styles to choose from. They even have a whole tab for testimonies of people that bought their crystals and love the results. So if you want fast access to these crystals, be sure to hit the link in bio. And use code NOWWeRISE to get a nice discount on your first.
Eden is not describing a literal physical place, but an allegory meant to illustrate the harmonious relationship human beings can have with Mother Earth, one that we enjoyed in the past, but have lost sight of in modern times. In the story of the Garden of Eden, the forbidden fruit is a fruit that came from a vine, and this vine could remove veils and make humans like gods. Like the forbidden fruit, ayahuasca comes from a vine, referred to in scientific communities as Banisteriopsis caapi. This vine is found mostly in the Amazon. Could this ancient story actually be referencing the magical plant?
I feel like meditation is what you need to do to work, because it's all about just controlling your breath, focusing on your breath, and just focusing on your thoughts, realizing certain thoughts are decent, and focusing on your support. It brings a type of calmness to you, where you don't chase everything starts to come to you. You start to realize your days begin to be longer, you begin to utilize your time more, and also it helps with depression, anxiety, insomnia, all that stuff. It helps with breath work. Breath work is very important. The way that you inhale and exhale, with the pauses you take in between, it's very important. They can help with digestion.
Okay, so are we going to talk about CERN, the multiverse, dreams, the Mandela effect? I watched Multiverse of Madness last night, and this scene really got to me.
Dreams windows into the lives of our multiversal selves.
How is his theory?
So that recurring nightmare where we're running naked from a clown.
Somewhere out there. It's real. Somewhere up there.
I've always said that dreams are literal portals to an unknown world. We're stepping into the bodies of the different universes of ourselves. Have you ever had a dream where you realized that it was a dream and you instantly woke up? What if that means the consciousness of that universe pushed you out and back to your original body? The thought that there are alternate versions of ourselves, based off the different decisions that we make. If you've ever watched Rick and Morty, this theory is explained so good. Do y'all remember Star Labs in The Flash, which gave people powers, multi-dimensional travel? Yep. Well, CERN is doing something like that. They might open a portal to another universe. Now, in 2012, CERN used this particle accelerator. You know, 2012 when the Mayan calendar said that the world would end? But some people think at this time CERN caused our realities to merge with another universe. Hence why some things are different than what we remember. Because I swear it used to say Jiffy on the peanut butter. In the movie, there's an ability called dream walking, which you meditate and jump into the body of that version of you in a different universe. When you travel to that universe, it kind of looks like you're traveling through brain cells, which would explain why our brain cells look like the universe. This might be too much to take in for some people, to fathom that there are alternate universes and versions of ourselves. There's an exact scene how people's minds go crazy after they realize this.
It's fine. Everything is fine. There's an infinite number of realities, Morty. And in a few dozen of those, I got lucky and turned everything back to normal. I just had to find one of those realities in which we also happen to both die around this time. Now we can just slip into the place of our dead selves in this reality, and everything will be fine.
Morty was literally freaking out. But tell me what y'all think about all of this. Say Daniel.
Hey, you wanna know what though? With that movie right there, she actually sat Indian style. She meditated, the witch or whatever, and she used her crown chakra. That's what they missed in that, to go wherever she was astral projected. She had to have her crown chakra in place, and they actually mentioned that in the damn movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Y'all gotta pay attention. Y'all gotta get hip though. They gotta tell you this stuff in the public domain. Part of the coding process.
They're not stocking themselves back up. Those rich folks know if they in. They know if they in. They trying to cash out. They trying to go to Planet Goldilocks. They trying to go. They trying to leave us here. They ain't got time to play. They cashing out, people. They gonna sell y'all all that mutated meat. Get y'all sick, snatch y'all organs, take y'all past them out y'all body, and live another day. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all better stop playing with yourselves. Y'all better get your mind right. A chicken bone. These people rather die than eat a chicken bone than live forever.
It's important for you to have some type of connection with nature. It's important for you to able to be out here like what I'm doing right now. This shit can cure cancer. It cures anything that's in your body. Nothing can survive if you come out here and plant your feet in the grass, bro. It brings you inner peace. It takes you straight to your higher self. That self of you that, for example, you know how you got all the ideas is flowing. It puts you at a higher vibration. It puts you at who you want to be, naturally. If you don't have your phone in your hand, you can't. That's all you can do is 6-7. Peace and stay woke.
Oh man, like, come on.